to the Big Success Show. Today, Unbudgeting. Budgeting for people who hate budgeting. Brought to you by the Financial Freedom Tool. Plenty of money for life.
Tips to be your best with the professor and Mary-Lynn for your big success.
Do you just love to budget?
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, who doesn't want to just run right out and do that right now?
Well, today we're going to talk about unbudgeting. It's an alternative to traditional personal budgeting. Now, if you love budgeting, that's great. Good for you. You deserve a pat on the back. But here's what a recent study shows. Nearly 3 out of 5 people don't budget. That's according to the U.S.
Well,
Bank.
not only, I was expecting you to say don't like to budget, but you're saying absolutely just don't budget.
Budget.
Wow.
Hi, my name is George Kruger, also known as the Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. And we must confess, we don't like to budget either.
And we must tell you something else. Neither do most financial experts. People don't like to budget. Even the pros who tell you to budget typically don't have a budget, right?
Right. Well, it's tough, right? I mean, it's boring. It's hard. It's sitting down and looking at numbers.
I was just going to say, Mary-Lynn, it's numbers.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not scrolling through Instagram, people.
And so what we want to tell you about is this concept that we practice. We call it unbudgeting. We're going to talk about why we find it more natural and why we think it's a great tool for those people who hate budgeting.
Which is just about everybody listening today. So,
yeah, and so this is a great way to manage your money without the hassle of budgeting. And yet the cool thing is you get all the benefits of budgeting, which is a very clear understanding of your financial situation.
Wow, so this is like cheating on budgeting.
You got it.
I'll take it. All right, so let's look at 5 ways that unbudgeting differs from traditional budgeting. And number 1 is that the outcome of unbudgeting is an action plan. So what's the outcome of a traditional budget?
What do you think?
Numbers on a sheet.
That thing you hate, Mary-Lynn, numbers on a page, right? I mean, most people hate numbers on a page. It's not very exciting, right? It's kind of
definitely a snoozer.
It's a snooze fest.
It's funny. I wish you only snored that
oh,
softly.
Come on now. If we're going to talk out of turn. Unbudgeting helps you move quickly to the actions that you need. So away from just the numbers, unbudgeting is going to get you going to the actions that you need to take right now to make your life better. And so the outcome isn't numbers on a page, it's a plan of attack.
That sounds like
I'm going to attack my finances.
a whole heck of a lot more fun.
Yeah, and it rapidly gets you moving in the direction of your dreams.
Number 2, unbudgeting gets you focused on goals. So a traditional budget gets you, again, focused on numbers on a page. That is informative.
It is, but if you think about it, with traditional budgeting, you get limits. With unbudgeting, you get possibilities. So that's the big difference between these two.
That's true, because the numbers on the page say, okay, well, you can't spend beyond this, or you shouldn't spend any more than this on that.
Yes.
And it's rules.
Right. It is. It is rules. Now, I mean, for some people, that works great. Apparently 2 out of 5.
Well, I mean, we have to adhere to some rules, right? I mean, you can't just say, okay, well, I'm unbudgeting, so I'm just going to go spend like crazy this month and then cut back next month. That's how people get in trouble.
The funny thing, though, is, Mary-Lynn, a lot of times with the budget, we could actually spend less than we would with unbudgeting. We could spend less on an item, like let's say going out to dinner, but like halfway through the month, let's say halfway through the month, we've only spent a quarter of our going out budget. Well, we may just say, we got money to blow. We could go out tonight. Whereas typically we might say, you know what? Why don't we just order pizza or go to the grocery store and get some food and save some money? So actually sometimes these limits actually become kind of like we look at them as almost permission to spend up to the limit. So what you'll often find is with unbudgeting, because we're getting into action, because we're moving on our money or with our money.
We're focused on goals.
Yes, we're focused on goals. Goals often pop up. Like, there may be an opportunity to earn extra money that we wouldn't have seen before. Or maybe there's an opportunity to save extra money that we would not have caught before if we were just watching the budget. Now we're watching for goals.
We're talking about 5 ways that unbudgeting differs from traditional budgeting. And number 3 is that unbudgeting yields continual improvement. Let's talk more about that.
So I think traditional budgeting, when I think about it, it's kind of like accounting, right? It's sort of crossing the T's, dotting the I's, getting everything down to the decimal point, right?
It's perfection.
Exactly. And the thing is, here's the real problem. You either hit your budget or you don't. It's pass or fail, which makes you feel guilty. I feel guilty because I missed my goal, right? It's easy to get down on yourself, but with unbudgeting, it's all about continual improvement. You clearly see where you are. That's where we start. That's your current reality. And you can see how you need to improve so that you can create a better future reality. And you have that action plan that we keep talking about, that plan of attack, which shows you the steps that you need to get there. That's what unbudgeting is all about. It's very empowering.
Right, and you get to keep encouraging yourself to do better.
Exactly right. Continual improvement.
Encouraging instead of beating yourself up all the time. Oh, I missed my budget.
Yes.
All right. Number 4, unbudgeting is like a game.
And this is kind of a continuation of what you just said, Mary-Lynn. It's that continual improvement. But, some people love budgeting. Most people hate it. But traditional budgeting feels to me a lot like a homework assignment. Now, I'm used to grading the homework assignments, not having to do them. Okay, right. I think I'd rather do them in those cases, right? But the thing is, none of us like homework assignments. It's really hard. It's really involved. Just can't wait to tackle that, right? No.
I think that's probably why most people don't, right?
Yes.
That's why 60% of people don't, because it's just so hard and you just keep putting it off.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow never comes, right? So unbudgeting's a little bit like a game. The environment changes over time. You have to react. There's other players. There's average people for you to look at, or people like your neighbors, people like you. Now, once you hit your goals, you can play again and pursue a new set of goals so that you can constantly spiral upwards.
Right. So when you're saying that, though, what are the numbers that you're playing with? How are you playing this game?
Let me just give you one example. So one of the things that happens with the unbudgeting process, we're going to talk about a specific tool that is designed for the unbudgeting process. One of the things that happens is we may discover an opportunity in our budget to save some money. Okay, so in our finances, maybe there's an area where our neighbors are spending less than us, and we can see, hey, you know what? We can bring it down to spending what our neighbors spend. And now all of a sudden we have an extra $400 in our monthly, finances. We got $400 more coming in than we had before, even though we got the same amount of money coming in.
Hey, Bob and Sally, they went, they cut the cord.
Exactly.
And they're saving buku dollars.
Yeah, so there's a great example. And so now with that, we could take that and maybe we invest it somehow. Okay, maybe we invest it in our own little business, and that own little business starts producing income. And so now we've got more income. What are we going to do with that income? So you see how, like a game, this is all about up leveling. We're trying to get to that next level up. Once we get there, we go to another level, and then we go to another level, and it's fun.
That is fun. And you win.
You are the winner.
All right. And then our 5th way that unbudgeting differs from traditional budgeting is that unbudgeting provides intelligence.
I don't understand what you're saying, Mary-Lynn.
Oh, that's very funny.
Yes. Well, so traditional budgeting provides you with information in a cocoon. You largely look in your own world. Okay? Yeah. And that's a problem, because if we never look outside, we don't really truly know how we're doing. If we never look at the other players in the game and see how they're getting ahead of us, maybe we can't keep up with them. We certainly can't get by them and past them. Okay? So unbudgeting provides you with financial intelligence. You get to see how you stack up, how you compare to your neighbors, to people like you, people earning the same amount of income as you. What are their housing costs? What are their car costs, auto costs, transportation costs?
Entertainment.
How much are they spending on entertainment, on eating out versus eating in, going to the grocery store, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, and then with this intelligence, and now you can create a strategy for yourself.
Precisely. That's where the action plan comes from, and you come up with an action plan to get ahead of the other players in the game. That's big success.
Now, our financial freedom tool is the unbudgeting tool. You can quickly see how your finances compare to your neighbors, just like George was talking about, so you can make better financial decisions every day. Learn more about our financial freedom tool at financialfreedomtool.com.
And we thank you so much for listening today.
Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Tips to be your best with the Professor and Mary-Lynn. for your big success.
Find big success at biggsuccess.com.